Who is Jason Todd? Do we really know? He is referred to as many things. A sidekick, a friend, a hothead, even a crowbar tester, but also a victim of an insidious and direct crime, the victim of murder. A tale of murder that appears cut and dry, but spirals down into a mysterious tale involving secret villains hidden among us, a change in cosmic direction, and just plain old hate. Many know Jason Todd as the Dark Knight's second Robin, the kid that stole the wheels off the Batmobile, grew into a hothead, and got himself blown up because of his impulsiveness and his inability to win over fans. But there's so much more to the story. A kid most don't know or don't remember. A kid whose death might not be as clean as it appears. But before we begin, let's learn a bit about our victim. Gotham is a dark place, and not for the faint of heart. After patrolling the night shadows of Gotham for a generation, Dick Grayson has left Gotham to go to college at Hudson University. This leaves us a time frame with Batman on his own for the first time in a very long time. This new Batman, a solo Batman, prowled the streets of Gotham, becoming a much harsher, meaner, darker dealer of justice than ever seen before. It had become clear to the people behind the scenes at DC Comics that something needed to be done. Was Batman really a solo character?
Batman had gone solo for a while, and we quickly realized Batman without a Robin was not the healthy character.
Yeah, it's Holmes and Watson.
Right.
It's Tarzan and Jane. There are obviously stars in that relationship, but there's also sidekicks who are crucial to that. And Batman hadn't really been played as a loner character, except for a few years, here and there, a few stories here and there.
Created by Jerry Conway and Don Newton, Jason Todd debuted in Batman 357 in March of 1983. Todd was nearly a clone of the original Dick Grayson. His background was almost beat for beat the same as Grayson. He was the son of Joseph and Trina Todd and part of an acrobatics performing crew known as the Flying Todds. The most notable difference between him and Dick Grayson was his reddish blonde hair. Both of his parents were also murdered while helping the current Robin, Dick Grayson, solve another crime. This caused them to cross the paths with Killer Croc, and he killed them both, leaving Jason an orphan. He was then adopted by Bruce Wayne and continued his life at Wayne Manor. Before long, like everyone else who seems to stay in Wayne Manor, he discovers the Batcave, puts two and two together realizing Bruce is Batman, and does what anybody would do. He constructs his own costume and goes out to help bring his parents' killers to justice. Before actually taking up the title of Robin, Jason was on the path to take on another name. Batman was not too keen on someone else taking up Dick's mantle, and he just didn't become Robin overnight. Initially, Jason had a much different and unique costume, and with Batman worked through several different names which included Blue Jay, Cardinal, Batboy, Domino, and this reporter's personal favorite, Little Beaver. He actually worked the streets with Batman as Ishmael, working with him to catch Poison Ivy in Batman issue number 367. And it was during this adventure that Batman first called him Robin. One issue later, Dick Grayson actually showed up at Wayne Manor and passed the mantle of Robin the Boy Wonder to Jason. Ironically, shortly after putting the costume on for the first time, Bruce gave this almost prophetic warning. No Halloween game you and I will be playing. This is life and death every time we hit the streets in these costumes. Regardless, things were as they were, and Batman and Robin were back.
People who were occupying big offices, Batman and Robin were this thing. And this is what made it successful, and you don't want to screw around with something that at that point had been successful for years and years, for decades.
Jason's similar disposition and temperament left many fans always comparing him to his predecessor, and really having issues connecting to this new Robin. There was even some mention of this by members of the Justice League. This all changed when the biggest event in DC history ripped apart the DC Universe and completely changed Jason's backstory, attitude, and fate. DC was going into a crisis. Tonight's episode of Secret Identity brought to you by the Cambodian Crowbar Company. When hits and giggles matter, choose the best. Choose Cambodian crowbars.